Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Casual Crono here. In this video, we are going to cover the Ghosts of Hope, Severed Vows of Tomorrow. I guess basically chapter 1 of the apocrypha. I did notice while I was uploading the prologue, when I came back to the game, there was a notice that they have already posted. There are cases in which the missions which appear in the Conquest campaigns for Apocrypha, the Ghosts of Hope, Part 1, so I guess there's multiple parts, cannot be undertaken multiple times in a row. Leaving the area or entering a building will remove this limitation. So I guess if I have an issue doing something more than once, I just leave and return, and I guess I can. So there will probably be some type of fix soon. Hopefully I'll remember this temporary fix whenever whatever this is comes to be. If you watched my prologue video, then you will have seen the party, but just in case, I mean, it's a prologue. There weren't any fights. You know, I don't know if anyone's going to watch a walkthrough for something that doesn't really require much thought. So anyway, I decided I'm going to try out my water team for this chapter, and it focuses on Verdanta as the main damage dealer. She is geared as such. The highest power I have is a 50 power badge. She has 2 pains and a weak point strike, bullseye, rose with thorns. So basically your standard damage setup. The tank for the team, Annabelle, quite possibly one of the best tanks in the game currently. She is all about hit points, so I have her with gear that gives hit points, armor that gives hit points, hit point badges that give hit points, and Grasta that give hit points, and have ore that give hit points, and a special Grasta that gives hit points. So she is hit point heavy. To support them, I have Ilulu, who is my pain setter. And she is geared as such, kind of a mixture of damage and combo rate enhancement type gear. And Elseal normal style. I don't know how long some of these fights might go. If it goes 3 turns or less, her another style is probably actually much better. I just realized she's only level 80. Not anymore. But since I don't know how long these fights are going to last, Elseal, as long as she's with all water characters, after 3 turns, Glace Misericord can create a permanent exposed water for the entirety of the fight. And if somehow it gets dispelled, I can cast it right back. So since I'm not sure what to expect, I want the flexibility of being able to just spend time on the fight. So that's where Elseal comes in. So I'm using her normal style, geared as such. A little bit for speed and defenses, and more combo rate increases. And then basically Grasta that improve her buffs for the party, and it gives her some health, enhance of max HP water, etc. Verdanta is an Avenger and Spicy Lover. And so, for backup support, I have Leclerc, who also is an Avenger, so she can hold the Almighty Power Avenger. Most of the party is light. Aside from Ilulu, the entire rest of the party are all light characters, so she has Resident Power Light and Power of Offense Water. As long as I'm in a water zone, everyone gets 15% extra damage. And then Aldo, being a sword user, has Power of Rapid Sword, 2 enhance of max HP, and a Sound Body Sword. If you don't have a a sword character that has 4 Grasta slots, I would ditch the Sound Body sword. Aside from a little tiny boost, thanks to like mental focus, it's not really adding much in the way of damage. The other 3 are. Sidekicks, Tetra and Moke. Tetra, of course, restores health and everything. Moke, as long as I hit weak points, which Verdanta will because she's Stellar Awakened, critical damage will all go up by 30%. The weaknesses of this party, it doesn't have a very strong MP regen. So yes, Annabelle can counter some, which I also have to guess. Am I going to get physical attacks or am I going to get magical attacks? I'm going to try magic first. And we're just going to... we might have to adjust. But this party does not have much in the way of MP regen. If I feel it's an issue, there is a sidekick equipment that's called the Magic Rewind Clock Hand. It restores MP every single turn. If you... I forget what chapter it's available, but it's one of the very final story chapters. So if you haven't gotten to chapter 110s, 120s, whatever the last chapter is, you might not have that particular sidekick item. But that's a team, very light heavy, and hopefully nothing will be null or absorb water. If they are, I will probably have to readjust. We are doing this whole thing in master difficulty as always. And if you are new to my walkthroughs, I tend to edit out the cutscenes. I actually left a few in on the prologue because I thought they'd be good discussion points. And I might do the same thing if there's a scene here that really goes into Ruvy's situation. But if it's mostly just focused on this particular chapter, I guess, are we calling these chapters? There's probably going to be 3 chapters of Severed Vows of Tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. This particular story, I might edit the cutscenes, I might not. Alright, let's see, we've gone over the party. Oh, and in the description of the video below, I tend to have markers so you can jump to whatever part of the video you need. I find some people need help on bosses, some people need help just finding hidden items, some people just want to hear me talk. So if you're one of those people, great. You know, I'm kind of an introvert, but I will voice my opinion when I feel it is a good opinion to voice. So without further ado, the requirements: you must complete the prologue, which requires, I think it was chapter 13 or chapter 25 of the main story. I forget which. It wasn't too far into the main story. And I also have the brand new character, Ruvy, whom I talked about her and I tested some abilities in the prologue video, so if you want to see some of Ruvy's abilities, watch that video. But in short, at the moment she is typeless. She has a nice spammable attack that will reduce physical resistance and buff the party at the same time. It awakens the Dazzling Slash stance once, which she is able to deploy herself. She also has a link effect. She can apply pain, which ignores target resistance. And she does have a way to do an MP regen for the party. She comes as level 80, 5 stars, obviously not Stellar Awakened. That will probably come as we continue these chapters. Personality: cat lover, scientist, and sword. That's all we have currently. So, we have the water team. I think I've covered everything. Let's get started. Alright. The Ghosts of Hope, Severed Vows of Tomorrow. Start quest. And quest accepted. So I assume I'll get to move around in a moment. Yep. And sure enough, I'm unable to switch maps. Oh, that's a weird looking map. Well, I guess I'm going north. I might run around the map and just see if there's anything to see. And for those... Really? Well, I can't run to the left. Can I go down? Nope, it is not going to let me go anywhere yet. Well, just to recap really quick on what I learned in the prologue, this is my understanding of what's going on. Phantoms. Phantoms are basically really angry manifestations of futures that did not come to pass. So, for example, when Aldo saves the world, there was a timeline where the world was not saved. Obviously, that timeline vanished because Aldo made sure it didn't happen. Well, that created a phantom, and that phantom is pissed off at Aldo because it did not get to realize its purpose, which was, to destroy the world. So pretty much every decision that Aldo has made has, branched a timeline. So that means every decision Aldo made also prevented a different timeline from happening. So Aldo has a lot of phantoms that are angry at him. If I understand correctly, most of the phantoms they all think the same, they all act the same. What one experiences, they all experience. Kind of like Nilia. And there's 5 phantoms. Well, I guess technically 6? Yeah, we'll find out. There's a few phantoms that are known as severing swords. They're different. They are not part of the hive mind. They're something more. And each one of them is very, very dangerous because they have a very powerful skill that can basically undo some form of existence. And I'm guessing that each of these chapters, so like this one,
I will give you
when we finish the chapter, the final fight will be against one of these 5 phantoms. If we defeat all 5 phantoms, the big baddie, like the final, I guess the super phantom, I guess that's what we'll call it. It has a sword that can really cause some major destruction. And that sword, once it's used, can regenerate over time. If we defeat the little lesser phantoms, not the little peon phantoms, but I guess the 5 severing sword phantoms, then the big baddie's sword can no longer regenerate. So we're going to have to go through each of these scenarios. At the end of it, fight some nasty phantom, I'm assuming. And then if we destroy all 5 lesser phantoms, then the big fatty, the accumulation, the final chapter of this apocrypha will probably be Aldo and Ruvi against the biggest evil phantom. That was kind of my understanding from the prologue. And so her ship, called Kairos... Oh, there's a chest over there. I wonder if we can actually access it. Her ship is kind of like the Rift Breaker. It can exist outside of time. 10,000 get. And she can monitor on that ship when one of these 5 slightly lesser phantoms, the severed sword phantoms, when one is about to make their move. And this world is where one of them is about to make its move, which is why we have teleported here. Where here is, we don't know yet. So I think that's a good summary of the prologue. Yeah, I figured you'd say that. And now let's continue with the story. I have control again. I can switch between maps. Alright, so I can warp out anytime. Good. I can travel to the Holy Order of Lancel. Lancelot, maybe? Definitely has a medieval feel. Kind of feels like World of Warcraft, to be honest. There's the Alliance flags in the background. So, but I played that game a whole lot. Alright, first thing I'm going to do in a new area is explore. So I'm going to look around, see if there's any hidden passages. Can't go down the well. And see what I can loot from the houses. Alright, nothing to loot here. And I usually just start the bottom row and work my way up. Okay, nothing here. Oh, a little bit of clipping. I can see the outside of the wall. Alright, tavern doesn't have anything. I wonder what food this place gives.
Is there more?
Not that I need to rest up, but
now,
I want their
and tend
food.
to your wounds.
We get pasty. Supposed to say pastry. Whoops. I totally missed what it was. Oh, pasty. Okay, not familiar with that term. Okay, nothing else in here. It is not the way the Abbey, although I'm exploring. Okay. I haven't really collected anything, so no new weapons yet. Nothing this way. Gal. Gal says it's really heavy and super hot. Galahad? Are we doing like a little King Arthur nod? We have Lancel, we have Gal. I have been playing a mobile game called Lost Sword, and that one is definitely based on Arthurian legend. It's a little on the ecchi side for me, but it's been fun nonetheless. I guess I'll start declaring that this is King Arthur if there's a Morgana or an Arthur, I guess. That would be a pretty dead giveaway. Alright, onward to the Abbey. Pretty straightforward. I haven't found any treasures. And so far, no passages. Don't really expect anything here either. Alright. There's probably a ceremony going on right now. I have control. We saw Eleanor inside. We are headed to Lancel's second home. And I don't know why, there's just something bugging me about Lancel. Obviously, Eleanor is a pullable character. With those red eyes, I keep thinking she's a vampire. Maybe she is, who knows, but I don't think she's going to be the big baddie because, well, she can join our team. There is no board for Lancel, though. And he just, I don't know. I don't know, there's just something about his mannerisms. Could be wrong. He could be a good guy like King Miglance. Alright. Oh, looks like we can fight things now. Let's see what a horror is like.
This isn't part of my route.
Alright. Well, it's either weak to water or slash, given this world. I'm assuming slash. Actually, I guess they're all slash characters. Alright. Normally I would... Well, you know what? I'm just going to sprinting raid it. Holy Saber. Go ahead and Mare Vexillum. And Pain. Alright, sprinting raid took out about, what, 10 or 15% of its health pool? Alright, so this time let's blue ice flare it. And reduce slash resistance. Alright, Verdanta definitely did not have any issues with it. I guess with the horrors I should just blue ice flare on turn 1. Oh, there were some buffs. Okay, yay. Well, now I can explore this area. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up, and I'll finish up there. But I'm going to explore everything. If this does not interest you, by all means skip ahead in the video to whatever part you need to watch. Let's see if sprinting raid is acceptable here. Alright. And so far all of the beasts look like they're physical users, so I'm thinking maybe I should switch Holy Saber to Deliverance Sword instead. Alright, sprinting raid, no issues.
Gotta go sharpen my swords.
For those unfamiliar with Annabelle, she has Deliverance Sword, which inflicts rage, and she has Holy Saber that inflicts rage. They're fairly identical, except that one counterattacks when hit by magic, that's Holy Saber, and one counterattacks when hit by a physical attack, and that's Deliverance Sword. So unless you have both equipped at the same time, which seems a little redundant to me, you just kind of have to know or guess ahead of time, are you going to be hit by physical attacks a lot, or are you going to be hit by magic attacks a lot? Alright. Nothing that way. Little pond over here. I have the controls set to repeat up here, so it remembers what was selected. Actually, Deliverance Sword is preemptive, isn't it? Alright. So as long as I have sprinting raid, which is preemptive, and 3 non-preemptive skills, Verdanta should go first.
Thank you for the support.
And the repeat function will now remember those commands. So all I have to do is click the attack button and I win and I move on. Alright, so far no chests.
A well-fought battle.
And no hidden paths yet. We're going to skip going in this area so we can explore the southeast a little bit more.
This was a big step.
Alright, let's try the horror with blue ice flare this time.
sometimes.
Alright. Looks like maybe on master difficulty around
You have my appreciation.
4 billion or maybe 5 billion health. You know, there was one chest by the castle wall. I kind of expected there to be at least one more. Oh, look at that. Alright, you can walk straight ahead right there, and there is the chest I was looking for, with 30 murmur scripts. So if you still need murmur scripts, you got them. Alright, sprinting raid.
Good job, everyone. High fives all round.
Nothing, and it looks like nothing.
Spirited performance, my sosies.
These posts, I'm wondering if there's eventually going to be like a path up and it goes to like another zone or something. Excuse me.
I'll lead the vanguard. We fight as one. Good job, everyone. High fives all round.
Nothing. There's a chest up there. Medium class scrolls and a dead end.
On your mark, set, now!
Alright, so unless something else pops up, medium class scrolls and some murmur scripts are about the only reasons to go exploring right now. And I guess if you don't need either one, you could just beeline it straight for the quest marker,
Thank you for the support.
which is where we're going pretty much now. Alright, nothing in there. Nothing there. One more fight.
This was a big step.
Alright. You want to bet automatic cutscene? Nope. Oh, there's even enemies here.
Nice weapons you got there.
Well, we're not out of the woods yet. Haha.
This ends.
Because we're in the woods. I'm sure we're going to have to travel up here for something in the future, but can't hurt to explore. I mean, I guess if the enemies are tough, it could technically hurt, but... Oh, there's a grave. I guess we'll learn more about that very shortly. Alright, let's go talk with Lancel.
I will show you how we fight in the north. Thank you for the support. You have my appreciation.
Alright. What does Lancel have to tell us? I have control. I'm going to be shown around by Eleanor. Guess we'll head back this way. Can probably just warp to the town, huh? Alright, looks like there's two locations. Let's head to the west. Courtyard. And a kitty cat. Sentinel. Sentinel. Name checks. Alright, I don't see hidden passages. I can travel to the barracks. For such a tiny room, wonder why it's so important we can warp here. Alright, let's learn about these barracks. And following that discussion, I'm a little more suspicious of Lancel. Kind of seems like he might just be using Eleanor for her power. But we'll see. Alright, let's go towards the other quest marker now. Looks like we're going inside the Abbey. No, we can travel to the Abbey. You know, once the other chapters are here, this is going to be a very long list of locations, I would think. Okay. Oh, we can go this way. Alright, going to the left. Oh, there's a bunch of doors. Alright, exploration time. If you don't care, skip ahead in the video. Oh, apparently we go right back. Still feels like I'm part of the Alliance in World of Warcraft again. I played a paladin tank in that game. I was playing when the game first was released, and paladin tanks were non-existent in alpha. Well, alpha, beta, and the original game. And I was still a paladin tank anyway. I did not care. And we had our heyday in Wrath of the Lich King. That was like the pinnacle of paladin tanking. Warriors were finally dethroned. Alright, so far not much other than people talking. I think that covers everything. At least in this area. Alright. Is this another set of doors? Oh, library? Oh, the orphanage, that's right. Alright. Well, let's see what's going on here. Following that scene, Eleanor has basically admitted that she's just following Lancel's orders as well. Lancel wants to have this ceremony tonight with all those nobles and everything, and she referenced that she can make a really big sword. I'm starting to suspect that maybe Lancel is the Phantom, or is the source of the Phantom. or is being manipulated by the Phantom. Well, let's see what's discussed here. I have control. I guess I'm going to chase after Eleanor now. Why is the quest thing lit up? Okay, well, those are the steps so far. Alright, guess we go outside. And south. Alright, we are headed to the base. And specifically the barracks. That was to the west. Alright, what shores are in our future? I have control, and I think I'm about to be asked to go beat up some beast folk. Head outside, deal with the beast folk. Okay. That's very straightforward. I'm guessing there'll be a little quest marker where I'm supposed to go. Not very far away. Oh, okay. Alright, beast folks have been attacking and defeat them before anyone is harmed. If I win in 5 turns or less, I get an excellent. 10 turns or less, I get a good. Okay. Mission start.
Fight with conviction.
So this would be turn number 1. I guess there's going to be waves, maybe? On repeat, we got sprinting raid.
Spirited performance.
Or those are the only 3. Alright, we got an excellent. Once you clear all the missions in the area, you'll be able to take on the conquest battle. High ratings in each mission to increase your chances of victory. So I guess if we have a bunch of excellents, then that makes that final mission battle thing easier. I guess that's why we can warp back to the barracks, so we can avoid walking back every single time. So does that mean we have to get another mission? I wonder how many missions we have to do. If this part ends up being kind of boring, feel free to skip ahead in the video. Well, Verdanta was the impressive one. Alright, gain control over the grassy area. Alright, so keep talking to him. Aha. Alright, conquest campaigns. Undertake mini quests and missions around the map. Join the conquest. Succeeding will unlock new areas. Alright, so mini quests unlock missions. Playing all the missions gives you access to the conquest battle. Okay. I wonder how long this is going to take. Result of your missions will affect your chances of winning conquest battles. Oh yeah, there's a little scene there. Let's see. Graphic, I guess. Not scene. Okay. Fighting power status disadvantage. You get Crono stones as an award. So that's nice. And then earning a major success in conquest battles will increase. I'm all about free stones. Alright, conquest battles without an excellent rating can be retried. So at least we can redo them until we get excellent. Maybe that was that warning about leaving the area and coming back. Retrying. If you lose a conquest battle, a recovery mission will activate. You cannot retry other missions. Okay. So just kind of, once you clear all the missions, you'll be able to take on, okay. Okay, give me a mission then. Alright. So we completed one mission and we have one sword lit up. So why don't we go and keep working on the meadow. Alright, some knights who returned from the outside are arguing about something. Head to the base. Residential needs help. And seems to be preparing something at the Abbey. Okay. So I wonder if we could just leave this. Oh yeah, there's a little green sub-quest. Knight stationed outside the wall can give you the details. Alright. And then, let's see, there was Anne needed some help and someone here in town. Alright. This must be the town guy. Chasing them down might be a little more difficult. Catch the target quickly or just catch the target. I'm not too good at these. So I guess we're going to have to chase them around. Alright. Are they going to move, or do they move? Chase the fleeing target and tap to catch them. That's going to be annoying. Oh, thought I tapped them. There we go. Okay. Oh, you got an excellent. Good. I don't like those types of quests. Alright, oh yeah, there was someone. Anne was at the Abbey, right? Before I go outside, in case she sends me outside as well. There she is. In a square in front of the base now. Okay, I can do that. I wonder if training just means I get to beat her up. Did I not go the right way? Alright, well, since I'm here. Alright. So I guess there's going to be some fights in multiple areas. And hopefully I can aid everyone. There's still two to the north, one to the south, center, east. Alright. So I guess we have to find them. And there's no mini-map markers. Yeah, where are they? There's one. Oh, so we don't actually fight, we just have to find them. I just realized that timer's counting down too. That must be the center one. Alright, that was two. I see one up there. That's three. There's a fourth one. Come on, go up. Alright, 39 seconds left. I think they said there was two to the south. Aha. That should be all five, right? Alright, we got an excellent. Alright, where was Anne with that? She said something about the square. Huh? The square outside the base. Okay. Oh, down there. Alright. Break 10 rocks or break 5 rocks? And how do we break rocks? You just click on it. Tap repeatedly to attack the rocks and break as many as you can. Okay. There's 6, 7. So it's just tapping. I see. Some rocks are harder than others. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So that was the final rock. And we can't redo that. If we okay, so we have 3 gold and 1 not so gold. Oh, do we have to leave the area and come back? Is that... Okay. I thought I pretty much did them all, right? Or do I have to do the missions in the forest, the settlement, everything? This area has yet to be unlocked. Okay. So, conquest. I guess we click there. Alright, liberate the meadow from the beef folks' control. Okay. Do I have to go back to the meadow then? And then the other question is, how difficult is this conquest battle? Okay, there it is. So I guess once you just get excellence or goods, you just have to find the red marker. So I'm assuming we just go around and beat up pockets of beast folk. Oh, I see. So it's... Alright. Okay, so you don't actually fight, you just build up your advantages and send troops out. Kind of like Suikoden battles, only without the paper, rock, scissors approach. Okay. Alright, so we can attempt them over and over until we get a major success. To attempt the battle again, you have to redo one mission that has not been cleared with the highest rating. Alright, so I did take on the missions again. Okay, so I did not get the highest rating with the rock thing. So does that mean I can go back and redo that one? Alright, looks like I have control. Before I head to that chamber, I can see that it says nope. So let's go back and see if I can break those rocks. And if so, that should give me a major victory, correct? Yep, it looks like it's available again. I guess I'll just tap as quick as possible. That last one I hesitated on a little bit because the others were all going so quickly. So I'll just use my mouse button and click as fast as I can. Here's the last one. Can I do it? Really? I did worse than the last time. What if I could macro it or something? I don't want to re-challenge it. Let's see. Is this where I can leave and return? And it's there again? Yep. I'll give it one more go. I don't want to spend most of the night trying this. I wonder if there's like a trick to it. I was clicking as fast as I could. Alright. Come on, I'm trying different angles. Wow. That is rough. Okay. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. I wonder how you improve on that. I really don't want to make a macro. That seems like cheating. Okay, well, anyway, let's move on for now. And let's go to the Alliance. Looks so much like World of Warcraft. Played that game for like 15 years. Yeah, actually about 15 years. 2004 to around 2019. Following that scene, I think we're leaving the walls and chasing the Phantom. Alright, we are going, perhaps surprise, surprise, to Lancel's house. Alright, past Lancel's house. Alright, sprinting raid.
This ends.
Check.
Thank you for the support. You have my appreciation.
Alright, what's going on? Let's think. Lancel is kind of making the Oath Maiden, Eleanor, create oaths. Looks like the Phantom uses oaths to charge up. And Lancel seems to somewhat easily repel the Phantom. Let's see what we can learn. Following all that, looks like we're doing some more chores. Alright, let's see what missions we're doing this time. Is that the only mission, or... Aha. Alright, we're taking down bandits. Must have played 2-1. 2-2. Okay. So it looks like the only one we can do probably is this one. Yep. Looks like they're all in order. Alright, what about the Eastern Settlement? Nothing yet. Alright, well. Looks like we're going bandit hunting. Stupid rock. Alright. I wonder something. This is just a test. I wonder if difficulty affects missions. I kind of doubt it. But we're learning. All right. Feels about the same. Here's the last one. Feel like time's about to run out. Yep. Alright, so I don't think difficulty settings will make these missions any easier. Unless the ones where you fight enemies, of course, might be affected. Okay. Moving on. Alright, I think there was an exit, yep, over there. Let's go find some bandits. Oh, looks like a pretty big map. Can I go ahead and open it up first? Yes, I can. I wonder if one mission is to light some of these.
Nice weapons you got there.
Alright.
Next on my route is...
Alright, I'm just basically opening up the map. Oh, there's a treasure chest. Alright, medium class scrolls.
Nice weapons you got there.
This does look like a pretty big map, though. Oh, I didn't even realize these are new enemies. Sacks of something. Verdanta makes things so much easier. I was kind of thinking about bucket of whatever. So Eleanor, the character. It said she was crystal and sword, and she wants to be with other sword users. Verdanta's about the most powerful sword user in the game right now, but she really heavily relies on water characters like El Seal, and El Seal can't create exposed elements or exposed water if she's in a mixed element group. I guess I could always have... oh, there's a treasure chest. I guess I could always have characters in the back line hop in the front briefly. Like, but I was trying to find a way, like, who would be a good party for Eleanor? She wants sword users. And since she's crystal, my first thought was Thillilly ES. But Thillilly prefers shadow characters in the team, and Eleanor is light. So that wasn't a ideal pairing, I guess is the best way to phrase it. Let's see, treasure chest, just some git. And I think Eleanor wants specifically sword characters, not slash. So characters like Shigure or Shion ES I don't think would be good fits for her. Alright, Beast Knight Commander. That's not the same horror as last time. Yeah, let's do that one and that one. Okay. Well, that was easy. Okay. So, now, of course, she was released with Flammopolis, who is a sword character, her ES form. So the two of them might complement each other pretty well. But when I was reading over Flammopolis's skill set, even though she's a sword user, it looks like she really wants to be with a magic team or have magic support. Oh, whoops. I meant to switch back to sprinting raid. That poor junker. So I wonder... aha. Alright, we're off the map now, and we get an Experience Plus badge. Wish I knew which one it was. If it was like 50%, that would be nice. But chances are, I bet you it's a 30%. Anyway, I wonder if there's some future characters coming down the road that might help with Eleanor a little bit more. As far as tanks, Annabelle, I think, would probably be a good tank for her. And she's a sword user. And she's a light user. Not sure what her spirit is. Eleanor, I think, wants partners who have high spirit.
Nails here.
Oh, wow. Is this a horror? This is a horror. Oops. Alright, Deliverance Sword, Blue Ice Flare. Do that. Alright, sorry about that, Alulu. I wasn't really paying attention. I was kind of off thinking.
Is there more?
Okay. Man, this is a huge map. Alright, looks like there's a little bit more right there that I haven't uncovered. Oh, well, that's convenient. I guess that's the next area.
Nice weapons you got there.
Now, this is turning out to be a pretty long chapter.
I cannot lose.
It's 1 a.m. my time right now. Haha, another secret area. We get stats badge. Well, quickest way back there would just be to warp. Let's get some food back. Alright. I have one more fight before we get to the quest marker. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Defeat 11 or more enemies. Oh good, maybe it's just waves of fights. That would be nice. Verdanta would take care of all of that. Oh, the rest of the party goes too. Remaining turns 4. Okay. So 3, 6, 9. So if there's 5 turns.
Oopsie daisy.
3 turns. Alright, that's 9 enemies. This would be 10, 11, and 12. Oh wow. That was 10. I guess these are tougher or had HP stoppers. Alright, so let's do it this way. Blue Ice Flare. I guess they don't have expose on them, do they? Deliverance Sword, why not?
Behold the pride of the snow blue.
Yeah, that's true. After the first wave, they don't have the expose anymore. Alright, so now we have the AF burst to work with. So let's just do... Let's do 3s and then all 1s. 3, 3, 3, 3. Looks like we knocked out some more. Hey, water zone.
Time for a special delivery.
I think how all the water characters jumped together and cast fire. Oh wow. Go delayed action. Alright. Defeated 17 that way. We needed what, 11?
Support. You have my
So we should have an excellent. Yay. Okay. Let's go back to the barracks. Alright, must have played 2-1. Well, we just did 2-1. Scout who returned injured, head to the base to hear what they have to say. Alright, oh, it's not a warp. Alright, let's go find the injured scout. He wasn't in there, was he? Oh, there's something over here. Oh, an injured scout. I guess we have to remember a message. Okay, well, I can screenshot things. Memorize the information, deliver it accurately. Deliver all the information correctly. Yeah, he didn't say anything. Alright, screenshotted. Let's open up my screenshots window. Yeah, this is cheating. Who cares? It's a game. We're having fun. Alright. Screenshot. I'll just put that down there. Alright, let's see if there's anything else. Okay, screenshot number 2. Number 3. All right. So let me set things up a little bit. Alright, I know you all can't see what I'm seeing, but I have the screenshots right below blue stacks, and I can scroll through. I wonder if it's the same every time, and if it's the same for everybody, or if it's some type of randomization. Because you all could just have a video, like my video, open while you're doing this, if it's the same message. How's my mana, by the way? Not bad. Alright, where do we deliver this? There's 3 messages, but only 2 markers. Oh, there's the 3rd one. Well, let's just start with you.
Follow me.
Alright. Let's Quintine Raid, Elemental, Mari, Pain. Not that pain is necessary for trash.
My sosies.
Alright, let's see. Alright. The first message was beast folk disguised as human may be present. Increase vigilance towards passerbys. Okay. So beware for human disguises, I guess, is the answer for that one.
If it is a fight you want, then I will serve death.
Up one more.
Always best to lead by example, I say. I cannot lose, after all.
All right. We'll head to the north first. Whoops, wrong direction.
Nice weapons you got there. Next on my route is...
All right. Alright, the next screenshot says the beast folk are trying to lure us out. Even if you see a small group, do not pursue recklessly. Alright. No. No, so don't pursue small groups too far. We'll try that one. And then... the last group had something about mushrooms, I think. Alright, that screenshot says the beast folk are planning to spread poisonous mushroom spores. Inhaling will paralyze the body. Exercise caution. Alright, so no. Some beast folk have toxic mushrooms. Or the beast folk spread toxic spores. It's poisonous mushroom spores. Doesn't say anything about having just mushrooms, so I guess the beast folk spread toxic spores is the answer. Yep, okay. Screenshots for the win. Alright, back to the barracks. What's next? Alright. Speak to them at the base. Alright, so we have to figure out where the traps are and disarm them. I'm not sure how I feel about Huh? What's this? Oh, yeah. Sweet. I was about to say, going back and forth is kind of annoying. Alright, let me move the microphone there, get slightly more position, or better position. Alright. I'm not sure how I feel about these. It seems to be taking up time, but it's better than restoring, like, towns and stuff, so... I kind of wish I could just finish chapter 1, or part 1, and then do this stuff. But I guess we're it's kind of built into the plot, so it wouldn't make sense. Alright. Disarm all traps with no errors. Disarm all traps with 2 errors or less. Alright. So avoid the spots where enemies are hiding. I guess an error would be if we're spotted. Are they marked on the map? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, that's definitely a lot more. Let's start with the north one. Alright, I don't see any enemies. Sure. Okay. So I wonder if an error is we have to choose the correct 4. So that means some of these might be red herrings. Well, surely they wouldn't give us a red herring right in front of us, huh? Oh, I see what looks like a sword back there.
This ends here.
Alright, that's probably an enemy. Let's avoid that one. Don't see any swords. Hey, didn't we see that bucket earlier? Okay, so we're avoiding that one. Alright. Is that an axe? Something's moving right there. That looks like maybe someone's head. Well, let's try it. It was an axe. Alright, that's 3. So one of those 2 is probably the last location. I see something moving.
Good job, everyone. High fives all round.
Alright. Nothing seems to be moving. Alright, I guess that was it without errors, huh? Yay! Alright, back to the barracks. Alright. Foil the enemy engineers. Alright. Okay. Don't we have... Every single time we talk to him, check mission details. We have no mission. Alright. I guess you have to click the blue... like, quest to... Oh, wait. No. Oh. I guess you have to click on that and then return here and get details if you need it. Alright. Alright, center of the forest. It's starting to get kind of late. Alright. Engineers are fine. Identify the troops without any mistakes. Identify the troops in 2 tries or less. Okay. I guess the person holding the glowing thing is the engineer. Oh, geez, and they ran off. Alright, I think it was the first one, so they ran this direction. So I guess let's see if we can find them. Nice. I think that was supposed to say that was easy, not that was east. Little typo there. Okay, well, took care of that one. That was kind of easy. You just had to know which one it was. I wonder if it's different every time you reattempt. Alright. Check the situation in the forest. Alright. So he's not here anymore. I have to go to the forest. Is it bad there's a little part of me now, given it's like 1:20 in the in the morning, but I'm kind of hoping that other campaign map is for a future chapter, if there's more than one chapter. Alright, do I just have to beat up some beast folk? I would think Verdanto would be okay doing that.
Nice weapons you got there. Barely even a battle.
I wonder what the trick is. Are they going to scatter around and then we have a timer to find them?
I will show you how we fight.
This is a big map. It's kind of set up to be annoying like that. Alright. Win in 5 turns or less. Okay. Are we having to fight a horror? Okay. Should we try forcing? Let's try forcing it. It's Verdant.
Nice weapons you got there.
Oh, is that a barrier? Well, she does have a barrier piercer. Reduces damage by 80%. Alright, well, we have an AF gauge. Let's do 3s, 2s, and 1s. Let's try working a Hagel Kuze. So we'll do 3, 4, 3, 3, and then 2s and then 1s. 3, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1. Oh, not quite. Alright, so looks like Frost Blossom ate through half of the barrier. Let's layer to Zona it. Let's do that, and let's deliver it, sort it. Yep, okay. Brute force it is. On master difficulty. Alright, and there is the challenge thing. Now, everything should be the gold sword thing. We got excellence on everything. Yeah, major advantage. So don't we get extra Crono stones? Moving the microphone again. There's a little part of me that still feels kind of bad for the beasts. Alright. Morale increased. Morale increased. Morale decreased. 3. Okay. Total victory. So I think I get those bonus stones for that one. I have control, and there is a lot of suspicion now around Lancel. And yeah, got victory in the conquest and got total victory. I forget. Nope, I can't go to his house. Gotta walk there. I'm gonna go ahead and restore my MP.
Rest now and tend to your wounds.
Alright, let's head to his house. His second house. his out of the way and out of earshot house. Well, looks like there's a quest marker before it. Well, I have to admit I wasn't quite expecting that. Let's see if I have a fight in front of me. I guess not. No message popped up. All right. Looks like we're headed to the Abbey next. Still not sure exactly how I feel about Lancel. But I may have been wrong about his intentions. He definitely seems suspicious. Okay, cutscene. That was quick. Let's go see Eleanor. And another scene. Following that discussion, we need to go talk to Eleanor. Apparently is a click and a short walk away. Alright, following that. Okay, let me move the microphone back. An important decision lies ahead. It will affect the way the story unfolds. I cannot change my choice later. Now, we don't know if there's any type of new game plus where we play through the whole thing again, and then we get to choose. And I know the developers, at least with regard to like items and stuff like that, they usually don't lock you out of getting items. So I'm hoping this decision... Okay, and it tells you that we can't switch maps. So I'm hoping that this decision is just cosmetic, just story only. I'd hate to be locked out of like a super boss fight or the chance for getting a really cool weapon or a Grasta or something because I made the wrong choice and there's no way to recover it. But you know what? That's the danger of being one of the first. I'm doing this without the wiki. I have no idea what to expect. So let's do it. Let's make a decision. All right. Okay, so do we hold the ceremony? So, do we hold the ceremony or not hold the ceremony? Is that the decision? I think we hold it and we just simply don't fail. That would make sense. So let's hold it. And hopefully someone out there will make the other choice and let us know what happens with that choice. So we are going to hold the Forging of the Fellowship and hopefully prevent the Phantom from doing its thing. Man, if I miss out on a Grosta, I'm going to be very upset. I guess I can switch maps. Yep, I made my decision. The live stream did say that we would be making decisions that we could not go back on. So I guess this is the first big one. Let's hope I made a good decision. Sorry, I'm starting to wonder a little bit about Gal. And I still don't know if I made the right decision. I'll be curious to see... Where am I? I don't remember this area. Oh, this is the entryway. Guess I'm not used to it without the other quest markers and everything. Anyway, I'll be curious to see, because I'm sure someone somewhere is going to choose the other option. And I'm very curious what will happen in that case. Following that discussion, we're going to return and have another discussion. All right, let's go talk with Ellie. Alright, back to Lancel's second home. Kind of a lot of running around in this chapter. Story seems pretty good though. I kind of wish I knew if there was like a chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, or if this is just like a one-shot deal. If it's anything like Wonders in the Vortex, I think it's just a one-shot deal. So I think, if I remember Wanderers right, Chapter 1 was an entire story, Chapter 2 was an entire story, and 3 was as well. Alright, what's going on at the house besides the beast folk apparently chilling on the doorsteps? Alright, sprinting raid.
Good job, everyone. High fives all round.
Alright, what's up? Alright, sounds like Ellie's cooking up a plan. We have to go back to the barracks and apparently help out the knights, so I guess we are going to be doing the eastern settlement, and looks like there's 6 quests. So you want to bet that this is the one that opens those up? Yep, sure enough. We're gonna do more little quests. Alright, speak with Anne at the barracks. And looks like we have to go in order. Alright. So, Anne at the barracks. Maybe she's in front of the barracks? Yep. Alright, so step one. We have to beat them, but they can't hit us. I wonder if a dodge tank like Shiguri would count as getting hit. Alright, so... oh, I guess... I'm guessing we have to walk there the first time. Yep. Alright, we're headed that way. I'm assuming I can get hit right now.
Always best to lead by
But
example,
Verdanta
I say.
will make sure that won't happen. Won't you, Verdanta? While screaming the word die. Bless those warrior maidens from the north. Okay. Alright, 5,000 or less damage taken. Okay. We can't use the another force gauge unless you have like Aldo or Zuna or someone. Alright, reduce damage by 90%. Now, this seems like a good opportunity to use Frost Blossoms. It pierces barriers. Alright, let's Guardian Soul it. Let's Mare Vexillum. And let's get Pain going. Okay. So that's the only fight, I'm guessing. So if you have a barrier piercer, I think you'll be fine. Nice. Alright. One excellent down. The Eastern Settlement. Huh. It kind of looks like Annabelle's world. Present. It was parallel time layer. yeah, the entranceway is kind of similar. I'd forgotten the name of this place. Has that kind of roundabout looking thing, and then a branch off here, but then Urula, is that how that's pronounced? Urula has a little extra. All right, so let's go back. Oh yeah, Eastern Settlement. So kind of the same thing, only the other place kept going up this way. All right, well, new area. Let's check out the 4 houses. Anything to steal from these poor, scared people? Not in that house. Let's see. Ooh. Stole your scrolls, dude. Alright, anything this way? No. I just stole some manifest weapon scrolls right in front of you. Right, there used to be a girl here who was the strongest in the whole village. I wonder if she means Anne. Alright, let's check the other side. No hidden passages there. Was that all 4? Let's see if there's a little walkway here or not. Doesn't appear to be. Alright. Well, I guess we're going north, huh? And there's a cave up here. And that's it. Alright, let's head back to the barracks and do the next little quest. Alright. Reports of someone in the residential district. Okay, looks like the southeast corner. And I'm supposed to gather some stone? Is it in that cave, maybe? Okay. Deliver all the correct stone or 2 correct stone? Alright. Guess we're going to be screenshotting what he says again. 3 types of stone. Okay. Alright, got all 3. Let me load those up. And the first one, he said, don't get the wrong... It's the largest boulder in the meadow. Don't get the wrong one. How do we know? Okay. Alright, there's 4 choices. We have to get the largest one. That seems tiny. That seems big. That does not seem as big. And that one, there's a beast there. Alright, he said the second one should also be in the meadow. The last poor soul who went looking for it ran into some nasty trouble. So this must be the second one. Yes. Sprinting raid. Oh, sprinting raid did not knock that one out. It's a good thing Annabelle's a good tank. Alright. Alright, we got that stone. Let's go back up here and get that large one. Alright, that's 2. Alright, he says a third one is in the forest. It was near a water source without any place to rest. Alright, 3 possibilities. Near a water source without any place to rest nearby.
I will give you my all.
Let's check them out. There's a water source and there's a bench. I would assume you could rest on the bench. Alright, there's a water source and a bench.
Nice weapons you got there.
So, kind of standard procedure. It's probably going to be the one furthest away from me, which was all the way in the west. Probably that one. Now, if the third one has a bench, then we're in for some problems. Probably one more fight.
Follow me.
I don't see a bench yet.
It's over. A well-fought battle. Be on your guard.
Alright. No bench. Let's try this stone. Okay. Are we correct? Yay. Alright, those were the 3. Next up. Hide and seek. Oh no, we're gonna have to play hide and seek with the kids, aren't we? Probably means we're gonna have a timer. Okay, in the Abbey. Was it the Abbey a choice? It was. Okay. Oh, it was probably this room over here, huh? Maybe not. Okay, where is Ellie? I did read the right one, right? Eleanor seems concerned about something. Check on her at the Abbey. Well, maybe I didn't walk far enough, but I didn't see the little blue symbol in here. No. Not here. Not here. Well, there's only one place left. Maybe she was in one of those rooms. Alright, the hunt for Ellie. Not in that room. It's just so late at night that I've forgotten which room is hers, or... Hello, where are you? I would like to, move on. Okay, wasn't that the last area of the Abbey? Is she outside of the Abbey, maybe? Yeah, okay. So she is outside in the courtyard. Making me run around. I see how it is. Alright, let's go check on the orphans. Shouldn't there... Okay, what's the deal with this quest? I accepted it, and now... There's no little markers. Alright. The orphanage is where I went. Oh, wait. Was I supposed to go here? I thought I was supposed to go check on the kids. Hmm? Wait, I'm confused. What's going on here? This does not seem like hide and seek. What did I just do? Oh, okay. So 3-6 does not have a prerequisite. So I guess I kind of activated 3-3 and 3-6 at the same time. But, yeah, go away. Why are there never missions in progress? Why do they even have this choice? That makes no sense. Okay, I just wanted to play hide and seek with the kids. Why is nothing happening? I'm very confused. Oh, the training must be here. Alright, there's a total of 5 waves if you answer correctly most times. Alright, let's screenshot this. Let's position this so I can see it while I'm playing. Alright. Again, I realize you all can't see what I'm seeing. I have a screenshot of of the basic and advanced tactics open on my screen, so I can refer to it during the training. Alright, begin training. Two Lancers. Okay, Aldo's effective against all foes. Ruvi against Lancers. Alright. Ruvi and Foot Soldier and Foot Soldier. Well, Ruvi is effective against Lancers. So let's try... Well, Foot Soldier and Foot Soldier said effective against standard foes only. That didn't make any sense. Alright. Not Foot Soldiers. So Eleanor and Anne. Fighter and Armor. I guess let's try them. Beast Soldier and Armored Beast. Alright. So I guess a Beast Soldier is considered a standard foe, so standard plus armored. Aldo's good against everyone. Eleanor's good against armored and standard. And... Yep, okay. Beast Fighter and Beast Lancer. Alright. So, Aldo and Ruvi, it says under Advanced Tactics, will win against any combination. Elite and Armored Beast. Okay, Elite and Armored. Well, Aldo and Ruvi, again, will win against everything, right? Alright, so I got 4 out of 5. So probably not an excellent. Yep. What if I can just repeat that? Or can I only repeat them once I've... Yeah, okay. I can only repeat it when I've done the accumulating conquest battle. That's what it's called. Oh. Oh, so the hide and seek is here in the town. Alright. Find all the children is excellent. Find at least one is good. Hopefully it's not inside houses. Oh, I'm limited number of steps. Alright. Don't see any children. There's one. There's my good. Alright, so by the well. There's one. And where's number 3? Oh. Oh, that wasn't even the third one. Okay, well, I got a good. Didn't find the green-haired boy. Alright. Someone unusual at the tavern. Okay. Guess we'll go there while we're nearby. There's a hooded person. Alright, what's the game? Play cards. Okay, so I need at least 3 correct guesses. Okay. So playing the odds, you just guess either higher or lower depending on how many choices there are. I wonder if it's really random or not. Probably lower. Okay. That one has to be higher. That one has to be lower. Alright, I got my good. Oh, that's rough. Let's try higher. And that one's definitely going to be higher. 4 out of 5. Alright, how many other quests are there? Or was that all of them? Feels like there should be one more. Defeat the well-armed beast folk. Alright, where is the scout? Oh, right behind us. Alright, so the beast folk are going to be resistant to some stuff. 20 total turns. Beasts wearing powerful equipment have appeared on the meadow. Exploit their weaknesses, defeat them swiftly. Okay. Alright, so the west was fire and something. Blunt, piercing, and wind. South, magic, fire, and earth. Alright, can you repeat that? Okay, the west is sword attacks and fire, so this team is good for that. East, sword attacks and water, again, good. The center is blunt, piercing, and wind. I have a wind team. And the south is magic, fire, and earth. So I'll probably use Shanghua's team. Okay. So I'm going to shift around gear after I do the west and east. I'm assuming sword and fire, even though this is a water team, will still be okay. I guess we'll find out. Alright. So, west and east were both sword. This one I think was swords or fire. But it's nice that it actually tells you.
I'll lead the vanguard. We fight as one.
Alright. Well, let's try blue ice flare. Elemental wall, mare vexillum, and pain. Well, I was doing weak points damage, and I guess they have a lot of health. Alright, well, let's get that going. Blue Ice Flare. Glace Misericord. And Purgatorium. Oh, I see, they have a shield. Okay, that makes more sense. Really? You have just a sliver of health left. Alright, still on turn 3, so... Sprinting White Raid shouldn't use anything. Alright. Let's do the other side with sword and water. Hopefully that's another like 3-turner. Alright, sprinting raid. Yes.
Next on my route is...
Alright, this one should be water and sword.
I'll lead the vanguard. We fight as one.
Okay. Sprinting Rage. Frost Blossoms. Let's do Blue Ice Flare. Buff them up and pain.
Here you go! Got it!
Alright, looks like one lost all of its shields, the other one has one shield left. Guess let's just Deliverance Sword the other one. That attacks everybody. And those attack everyone.
Rest in peace!
There we go.
Thank you for the support. You have my appreciation.
The center one was
I will
Wind
give you my all.
and Pierce and Blunt, if I remember right. Yep. Alright, Wind team. You're up. I would go over all the gear and everything, but if you watch my Super Boss team video from December 2025, it's largely that. I think some Faded Star proofs are used now. And Avenger. Sidekicks are Moke and Kumaro. Okay.
Let's get to work.
Alright, let's see. Tank mode. Twin Blade. Let's go ahead and go straight for Injaku. Knock out that shield.
Train harder.
Alrighty, Awakened Wind Zone, shield is down. Let's just go straight for the kill, I think.
Will shout out the night.
Yep, okay, Sesta do good.
Seska did her best, and that's okay.
And the last one was magic and some other things. Forget if fire was one of them. Okay, magic support, check. Magic damage. And magic support. Alright, does that look pretty good? That looks pretty good. Check Iffy's skills. Yep. And yep. Okay. Those are the main ones I care about. Oh, T-break. I don't want that one. Okay, let's go with please there. I'll do my best. And charity blend. Yep, those are all good. Oh, whoops. Gotta walk over there. I don't want to walk over there. And water. Okay, she's still pretty well geared. I like the 0 MP, so I can just instantly kill the trash mobs. Okay, well, no trash mobs to kill. Oh, sidekicks. Switch to guns. I don't know. I could go either way. I'm thinking about just blowing the AF gauge on this guy.
This is pointless, but sure, I'll fight.
Alright, if I blow the AF gauge, Magic Zone, Awaken, Nocturnal, and Divine Utterance. So 3, 3, 2, 3. And then I'll just try spamming ones. So 3, 3, 2, 3. Spam, 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 spam. Alright, did I get enough hits in? 1 left. 0 left. Okay. Slash. I don't want slash zone. Magic Zone. Alright. Horizon. Lady Vespers. And let's get an MP regen going, just in case. Nope. Don't need it. Alright, 9 total turns. What do we need? Under 20?
What a bore.
Alright, we got an excellent. Let us return. Switch back to my water team. And re-gear them too. You can kind of see where all of my gear tends to go. Support characters tend to swap around their support gear. DPS characters tend to swap around the DPS gear. Kind of makes sense when you think about it. That one's good. Avenger got moved around. Okay. Sidekick's good. Sidekick's good. Oh, let's heal back any lost MP. I know Verdanta used some. 3 in the morning.
Now, who
I can feel myself getting more tired, kind of slowing down. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but man, this is taking a while. And then I still gotta edit the video and export it. I'd like to get it out as soon as possible so you all can kind of see what I'm seeing. Alright. 3 excellents and 3 goods. Conquest area. We have advantage. So I guess we have to go to the Eastern Settlement. Maybe the starting quest is right outside of the Eastern Settlement. Yep. Okay. We have an advantage, so hopefully that's enough. Alright, let's see what happens. Charge! Okay. Well, I guess we won. Kind of looks that way. Yay! Victory! Yeah. Don't worry about the card game and stuff later. Some of those just seem like it's random luck. Alright, once we're ready, let's head to the plaza in front of the Abbey. Oh, I'm ready. You all ready? I don't know what we're doing, but let's find out. Oh, major trial. Finally, are we going to fight the Phantom? I guess let's find out. Alright, Master Difficulty Severed Lancel. Alright, I don't know what that means. Oh, neat. Okay. Alright, let's use this opportunity to set some stuff up. We'll do the 3s and then the 1s. Actually, let's take a look at them. Alright, 2 life points. Severed Oath, based on number of stacks. Type resistance increases at turn end. Consume 1 based on number of attacks taken. And it looks like he gets stunned when he's at stack 0. Okay. So I have an oath on all characters. If I take damage, I lose 1. When it's stack 0, he uses the skill Oath Render, which probably looks like an instant death spell. Okay, so let's do it this way. Pain. Water Zone, Blue Ice Flare, and Deliverance Sword. Two, 4, 6, 8. So that's about 10 billion in damage right there. Alright, so he attacked me. I can see that there's a number 6 on most of them, and my tank, of course, has 5 stacks. So it stacks 0. He uses Oath Render, so it's probably like an instant kill. But instead of the whole party, I guess he'll target whoever is at 0 stacks. So let's take this opportunity to blow the AF gauge and chew through one of his health bars real quick. So I'll do... let's do the 2s and then the 1s. And when it starts to slow down, I'll work in Glace Misericorde. Yeah, okay. So 2s and 1s. 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1. All 1s. Go, 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 go. There's the Glace Misericorde. Alright, Elemental Wall. And I was going to do some more 3s, but I guess that's it for now. Consumed a life point. Oh, he destroys the zone. Good to know. Looks like he has 25 stacks now of that. 25? 17? Oh, I guess at the end of the turn he lost 8. Okay. So let's... Deliverance Sword. Blue Ice Flare. Let's get that Water Zone going. And did he clear his debuffs? No, he did not. Okay. Alright. Alright, one more and we can do another AF burst. So let's just... Let's see, this is turn number 4. Let's get the water exposure going. And keep that slash resistance up. Alright, got an AF gauge to work with. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and burst again. I think we can just pretty much straight do 1s. I might do 1 Mare Vexillum just to make sure. So we'll do 1, 2, 1, 1. And just keep spamming 1s. And then if the HP bar goes away, we'll try to redo the 3s and such. So 1, 2, 1, 1. Spam, spam, spam. somewhat a race against time. Alright, let's do the threes now. I guess he's going to break the zone again.
Stop it!
Alright, let's take a look at Annabelle. She has 4 stacks? Oh, I thought she had less than that. How are the others doing? 4, 5, and 6. I guess they gain back stacks? Alright, well. Blue Ice Flare. Let's do a Guardian Soul. Water Zone. And... Purgatorium? Yeah, let's do that. Alright, you should drop, I think, around 8 more stacks. Let's see, he's down to 14. Let's do a Deliverance Sword, another Blue Ice. Actually, probably need to do a General's Blaze at this point. It's only 5 turns, and we're on turn number 7. And let's keep working on Blue Ice Flare for now. Let's see, we'll do... Rebuff Glace Misericord. And we have Pain still on there? Yes, we do. Alright, we have our AF gauge. Alright, that 14 should drop now to an 8. Or no, 14 minus 8 is 6. Alright. Let's get an elemental wall. And General's Blaze. Lair to Zona. And Anima Amaryllis. That sound right? Ooh. I didn't realize she had gone down to 0 stacks. Okay, not a problem. How are the other stacks now? I'm thinking about 4, 3, 6. Water Zone. Purgatorium, and we'll just do one more Blue Ice Flare, and Frontline. If no one dies, I should be able to burst on the next turn, and hopefully be done with the fight. Oh, she's doing a lot of damage right now. Okay.
Follow the path of the righteous.
Okay, I believe he's out of life points. That doesn't sound good. Oh, it's weakened. Now's our chance. Yep, out of life points. Well, let's go ahead and stellar. I kind of want to just blue ice flare. And just to be on the safe side, I guess we'll Aegis boon it.
A knight must protect and serve. Rest in peace.
Alright, we have a small amount of health left and a full AF gauge. Water zone check. I think we'll spam all ones.
Nails here. Nails here.
Alright, I think the boss has been defeated.
Oopsie daisy.
All the debuffs went away. That's usually indicative that the boss is finished. Okay, not horrible. Following that scene, we are going to the Chamber of Oaths. And we're going to talk a little bit. I'm assuming we're going to talk a little bit. Do we get to make another decision? Do we go back in time or not? It's 3:36 in the morning. Do I really need to be making these big decisions now? I do need to hit the restroom, though. Be right back.
Of what we call
Alright, I am back. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. Overall, the bishop's not dead. They're just sleeping. And no one else got killed. The townspeople see Eleanor as like a new leader. The Phantom's been destroyed.
I will give you my all.
Overall, and there was that whole, the people saw her, perform the ceremony anyway, and they have a lot of respect for her. So I'm kind of thinking, aside from the bishop, everything kind of sort of seems okay. I'm also kind of thinking that it's 3:45 in the morning and I really don't want to go back in time and redo a whole bunch of those missions and other stuff. So I
am just a piece.
I guess I'm going to keep things the way they are. And if I make a bad decision, if it locks me out of some content, I'll know not to be the first one to be recording this and posting it online. I'm going to wait and see what other people tell me for the future chapters. But I've Alright, if we redo the ceremony, the Phantom will revive. When it comes to time travel, there's no redos, except that we're redoing it right now. So we don't want to have her live with regrets. Okay. So she's feeling regret that she cast aside people, that she didn't want to protect everyone. So I want a chance to make things right. I won't abandon anyone this time. That kind of sounds to me like she wants a redo. Oh, really? Oh, it's so late it's pretty much the next day. She really, that does sound like she wants to try and save the bishop. I like how the first choice is pretty much prompting me to do what Eleanor wants to do. Okay, fine. I wonder if I'll get to make the choice again in the future when I beat the boss again. Oh. Well, we know the boss was relatively doable. Alright. Huh? That's the end quest symbol. Does that mean we still only... Well, let's just see what happens. Okay. I'm a little confused now. Does this mean I don't have to refight things? So that would be amazing. Watch me have just chosen into the bad ending, though. Okay, so there's about to be a third choice. And there's the quest end crown again. Okay, so I actually don't get to redo one of the others, so show a different form of oath. So I'm back at the point in time where I fight the boss. Wow. Quest complete. Kind of glad I chose to revisit that. Another dungeon, Kairos, has been unlocked. Campaign rewards, yay. Always nice. Some stones. Wow. Okay. Campaign. Oh, 1,000 stones if you finish the quest. And 50 more. Okay. Wow. And a lot of records. It is 4:15 in the morning. Alright. So I started the quest, 10 stones. Started the Ghosts of Hope, 10 stones. And cleared Severed Vows. So that's those 3. Countered Ruby. Right, achieved victory in the conquests. And I got 1 total victory. The other 2 I did not, so I guess I could go back and work on those. And then battle. Fought some new critters. And that's about it, so... Alright, got a lot of stones. And I'm gonna hold off on that. Wow, so the Wonders in the Vortex had a true ending. And the true ending was what eventually, I think, unlocked some of the super bosses. I guess the apocrypha, this one, also, let's see. So, okay, I have a character quest. Oh, Eleanor has a character quest, even though she's not an alter character. Interesting. Well, anyway, what's this? Oh, yeah. So, I guess if I'm understanding this correctly, and this is 4:15 in the morning, casual Crono talking, at some point during the chapter, you are forced to make a decision. In this case, I guess it's not really a spoiler since it's a walkthrough, but in this case, I had to choose whether to protect the people or to go ahead and hold the ceremony. And then at the end, when I went back to make the other choice, it instead gave me and forced me to have a new choice. So I'm not sure if the first round of choices really matters, because at the end of the chapter, you're going to be given the opportunity to go back, and if chapter 2 and chapter 3 and chapter 4 and chapter 5 are like this one, when you go back, you're going to be given a brand new choice probably for all of those. And that way it kind of forces you into the true ending. So then the question is, what happens if you don't go back in time and you just stick with your current choice?
I am
Do you...
just a piece of what
Will
they
it
call
force you to
man.
go back and do it again? I don't know. But, yeah. Oh boy, it is late, or early, depending on how you look at it. Well, overall, I thought the story was great. I really enjoyed it. I kind of liked the tie-in to present day stuff. I'll leave it at that since I do edit out the cutscenes. And I thought just overall it was enjoyable. It did go a long time. It is 4:15 now. I started the prologue at like 9:45 or so whenever I could update the game. So I've been playing for about 6 hours, 6.5 hours now. That's a long time. I don't know if the Wonders in the Vortex chapters were that long or not. It's been too long. But I guess if you don't have like a chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 for each of these, then I guess that kind of makes sense. So yeah, enjoyable. It did require multiple parties at one point, but even then the word require is really strong. I think if you don't have multiple parties, you could probably just drop the difficulty, and those little mini quests, the one where you had to go and fight them 4 times in under a certain number of turns. Sorry, it's late. I think that one could have been done on like a lower difficulty if you don't have a super strong like water team and wind team and magic team or whatever type teams you choose for those fights. I'm happy that I chose that Annabelle Verdanta El Seal. In fact, Annabelle, given her Miglance Palace personality, kind of sort of fit the whole chapter. And then El Seal and Verdanta, just strong sword characters. So I was pretty happy with this water team. Well, I'd go into it more, but it is 4:20. I'm going to see how quickly I can get this online for people that might be struggling or agonizing over the choices. And yeah, so I hope this video helps you. And I'm really looking forward to chapter 2, or well, the next installment of this apocrypha. So, Casual Crono, signing out.